Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In case you're new, my name is Belinda Melvin. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're tuned in from, and a very warm welcome to my channel. So today I'm coming back to you with quite an interesting topic, matters boundaries, and we're going to talk about how to set healthy boundaries. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to take you several definitions of what boundaries are, because we need to get to know the definition before we dive into the topic. Boundaries, definition number one: it is a line which makes limit of an area, or rather a dividing line. Another definition of a boundary: it is a limit of something abstract, especially a subject or a sphere of activity. And the one that actually resonates with us is: these are limits that we use to identify ourselves and apply through action or communication. Yeah, the limits that we identify ourselves with. For example, I don't love the way you talk to me. That it's like there is a certain way that somebody, or rather someone, needs to address you. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned, because you're going to break them one by one. So we want also to get to know, what does setting boundaries mean? It means, first of all, getting to know what one wants and expects from other people in their life. And like I said earlier, whenever you're communicating with someone, there is maybe like, I'll use a communication. Let me use my sister. Me and my sister, we are communicating, and then there is a way in which she communicates with me that does not please me at all. So when I let her know when she communicates in a manner that she does, or rather in a tone, with communication, sometimes somebody might say something, but it's not how like they just said it, is the tone that they used. So it means getting to know what one wants and expect from other people and the people in your life. Whatever that you want them to do in your life, it's what we are terming there as how you set your boundary. It's understanding the rules, the grounds. If you do this, you're crossing the boundary. If you do this, you're going overboard. So you need to let people know, be it in an institution, in a family, workplace, in friendship. You need to define those boundaries. You need to get to know, why do I need this boundary? And if I make a mistake, do I need to apologize? Do I need to trust my intuition? Do I need to address when people are crossing my boundaries? Because you ask other people, hey, like, if I try to ask my older me, I'll know that there are scenarios where people will cross your boundaries because you are that people pleaser. You can't tell people how you feel or what you want, because you feel like if you tell them, maybe they might end up not like talking to you because you told them what you wanted. So we need to create the tools that protect the parts of ourselves, which in turn allows us to bring the best out of ourselves in both places. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is, setting a boundary, it is a crucial aspect of maintaining healthy relationship. We all need to set boundaries. We all need to tell people how we need them to treat us, because that way they will know, if I wrong Caro, then this is what Caro will do to me. So it is very important when we set them, not just for healthy relationship, also for our own personal well-being. So we'll get into the types, get to know the types of boundaries. Yeah, but you need to know, setting boundaries, they are really, really crucial. You're going to start by looking at personal boundaries. And when we talk about personal boundaries, there's need for you to get to know who you are and what you want. That's why you need to be self-aware of yourself. Reflect on your needs, reflect on your values, reflect also on your comfort levels, and get to understand what feels to be acceptable and vice versa. So once you do that, once you understand yourself, it will be easier for you to set your personal boundaries. You need to identify the limits under personal boundaries. Recognize the situations, or rather the behaviors that make you uncomfortable or rather drain you. So identify the limits. what is that one thing that makes you uncomfortable, or what is that one thing that people around you, when they do, they drain you completely. So you need to identify the limits. Number two, you also need to communicate clearly, express the boundaries, use certain statements. When you do these, I don't like the way you talk to me, I would like to be left alone. Because there are certain days when you wake up and you feel like you do not want to talk to anyone. You feel like you don't even want to see anybody around you. You just want your you space, my me space. And it needs to be like respected, because not each and every day you'll always be on your high. Some days you are feeling high, some days you're feeling low. And when you're feeling low, there's need for people around you to let that space, to give you that space, so that you can be you and also reflect on certain things. So when you do that, it will be actually easy. It will make things easy for you, because you will avoid like the blame games, trying to blame other people, accusing somebody wrong me, somebody's did what and what and what. So instead of you like blaming or rather shifting blames to others, it is important for you to communicate clearly to the people that are around you, so that they can get to know what you want, what are your values, what if they do like, what if they do certain things, they're going to like cross your own boundaries. And I said like in one of the videos back, few months back, you shouldn't be the one like stretching your hand to reach to other people. Sometimes just sit down and let also people like stretch their hands, so that they can reach to you. Let people know your needs and your values, because you matter, you are valuable, and your needs also, they do matter. So another type of boundary is emotional boundaries. You need to recognize your emotions and be aware of your emotional state, how the social interactions like affect you. So you need to be aware of your emotions. You have those people, when you tell them something, they will just get emotional and start crying. It depends. Even me, if you ask me, I'm still a crybaby. There are certain things when you tell me, I'll cry, because words normally hurt so much compared to when someone gets a cane and beats you up. So words are very hurtful. So you also need to be aware of your emotions, how interactions affect you. It's something, once you know that, then you'll be able to know the way you're going to work on that. You also need to avoid emotional leakage, in a manner that don't take on others' emotions as your own. Maintain a healthy emotional distance. Yeah. And like I said, also me I'll see maybe Caro crying, and maybe I feel so emotional and I help her cry, and I take maybe her problems become mine. So when you talk about emotional boundaries, you need to be aware of them, and also do not like you avoid, at all cost, avoid emotional leakage. Don't take other people's problem to be yours. Just distance yourself. It's okay sometimes to be empathetic with someone, but you also need to know to what extent. Do not like cross that boundary. And lastly, under emotional boundary, also you need to limit negativity. Set boundaries with people who consistently bring the positivity out of you. You have those people, when you are around them, you will hear nothing positive from them. They are always negative, negative, negative. So limit the negativity. Just surround yourself, or rather set boundaries with people who bring the positivity out of you. I hope that one helps. So another thing, as far as boundaries is concerned, that you need to know is the social boundaries. And let me tell you, this one, it's very vital, very, 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 very vital, because most of the times when you talk about social boundaries, and I know as far as friends are involved and stuff, we end up like misusing this kind of boundary. So you need to like have time management. That is to say, you need to allocate time for social interactions, but also you prioritize your self-care and your personal time. Not all the time you'll be out there like talking to other people and you forget yourself. Remember, you said that you need also to reflect on yourself, get to know, like, just self-reflection, meditate, get to, I don't know how to put it, but you need also to prioritize your time. That's what I'm saying. You time, the time that you're not doing anything, you're doing nothing. Just you time where you can be idle to yourself. You just sit there and do absolutely nothing. You also need to choose wisely as far as social boundaries is concerned. Be selective about the people you spend your time with. Surround yourself with positive influencers. Yeah, so choose wisely, be selective, not each and every person by the way you'll be talking to. And that's why I normally say that define who is who in your life. Yeah? Not everyone is meant to enter to your bedroom. Other friends, they were meant to just be at your doorstep. They were not like meant to come into your house. They were just like doorstep on the road, like that. Friendship is just, it's not like each and every person, so long as he or she is your friend, they have to end into your personal spaces and stuff. So you need to choose wisely. And lastly, it's okay also when you are talking about social boundaries, learn to say no. No does not make you less of a human being. Yeah, I know saying no, it's a bit difficult, and those ones who are people pleaser have been there. Saying no has been tough. It has been a hard work. You want to say no, but again you're like, how will people think about me? So it is okay to decline invitations or requests if they do not align with your priorities. Yeah. And I've said those ones who are people pleaser, they do struggle with that because you do not know when to say no and when to say yes, because what will people say about me? I've been there and I know that. I'm glad that I'm still work in progress, and nowadays if I feel like I can't do it, I'll tell you and I'll feel like absolutely nothing. I won't feel like terrible about myself. So if somebody like invites you to a place late, it is important to tell them you're not available today, and then they just tell them maybe next time. So you need to plan your work so well, and also like get people to know that like if they need to engage you, then they need to do invitations earlier. And sometimes it's okay to decline if you feel like they do not align with your priorities. Another boundary that we need to know are work boundaries. And these one I've been so vocal about it. Not everyone at your workplace is your friend. So the reason as to why you are at your workplace is to do your work, get paid, go home. So at the same time also, as we talk about work boundaries, you need to balance your work and your personal life. That is to say, set clear boundaries between work and personal life. Do not like carry your work to your home. Okay, I know sometimes like we are chasing the bag, but again your personal life also matters. So there's need for you to avoid overworking, or rather constantly checking to your mails when you are at home or when you are with your friends and stuff. So you need to have like a work balance. Get to balance work and also your personal life. Communication also comes in when it comes to work boundaries. Let your colleagues know your availability and also your preferred communication time. Yeah, there was a time my deputy back in high school once told my mom, it's not advisable you reach out to a parent at this particular time. Sometimes maybe I might be reaching out to Karo, and maybe Karo is having her significant other at that particular time. So let people know when it reaches a particular time, when you reach out to me, I want to be available. That's my me time with my family. And I also, lastly, learn to say no. Don't take more tasks than you can handle. If you're a yes person, sometimes you can't do this, but you'll go ahead and say you can do it. They normally say, and I'll quote from Chimamanda Ngozi, he's an author from Nigeria. She once said, if you acknowledge that you do not know, it's an opportunity. But if you know like you do not know and you deny it, it's like a closed door. So if you do not know something, then acknowledge you do not know. Don't say you can do something that you know you cannot handle. So get to define your work boundaries, communicate them, look at the balance in between, and also, in other words, also learn to say no where you feel like you can't. Other type of boundary that you need to be aware of, it's physical boundary. Personal space. Let people respect your personal space. Your comfort zone. Communicate when someone invades it. It's vital. Health boundaries. It's another thing. Prioritize your health and your well-being, because you need to get adequate rest, you need to exercise, you need to eat well. Remember, nutrition, it's also part of you being like okay, so you are what you eat, so ensure that you eat well and you also take care of yourself, because if you do not take care of yourself, then there's no way where you can be able to like interact with other people freely. You have to like give what you have. You can't give from an empty cup, you have to give from a full cup. Yeah. Safety. Set boundaries to ensure that your safety and well-being. So as you set the boundary, it's for your own good, it's for your own safety. So as we come to the end of this video, what you need to know: boundaries can be adjusted. Do not be too harsh on yourself, because sometimes when you set boundaries, we feel lazy to adjust them. So always have a plan B. If this does not work, what is my plan B? So you need to have a plan B, and do not be too harsh to yourself. Be kind to yourself, and regularly evaluate or rather adapt to your boundaries. Also, as you said, the boundaries, you need to change over to them, you need to adapt to them based on your evolving needs and circumstances. So as they are there, they're not like just there for them to be there. You can adapt. There's something that you are doing, and maybe as you put your boundary, you need to work on it, so ensure that you work on it properly. So don't be too mean, don't be too harsh to yourself. So show yourself. Show yourself. Have mercy. Show yourself some kindness. Have mercy on yourself. Be kind to yourself. You can't be everything to other people around you and nothing to yourself. So get to know, as you set those boundaries, you also need to be kind to yourself and grant yourself that grace. Yeah, so you've come to an end of this video. I hope you have learned something. If you find it very helpful, let me know in the comment section. You can share me out, you can give it a thumbs up, and above all, allow me take this opportunity to thank my camera lady, beautiful Caroline Nikio, for making me also look beautiful before you guys. We shall see you to the next one. Bye bye, and I love you right back.